Hey guys, last week I did a video talking about should you be a developer in 2018, and that video was mainly about job growth, salaries, and how the amount of jobs, which are things that I think are really important when you choose a job. And I think some of you were expecting the video to be about, would you be a good fit to be a developer? Would you enjoy being a developer? And that's what this video is really going to be about, sort of breaking it down and saying, okay, these are some characteristics, or these are some of the things that you can expect. And if you like these things, you might like being a developer.
Code everything.
Once you've made the awesome decision that being a developer is for you and you're looking for a place to get started, might I recommend our long-term sponsor, Dev Mountain. You can check them out at devmountain.com, where they have their 3-month programs where housing is included with your tuition, so you can get up and go this moment and get started in web development, user experience design, iOS development, Salesforce development, software Q&A, online, in person, sometimes after hours. Check them out. They have everything you need. I'm going to start this video by saying that a few of you called me a clickbaiter in my last video, and I'm not too happy about that, because I pride myself on not being a clickbaiter. Your boy's a lot of things. Coding god, developer, boyfriend, son, excellent lover, maybe subpar lover, but not a clickbaiter. And that's why I also want to make this video, because it seems like some of you wanted something a little different than what was given. So let's talk a little bit about the obvious thing that I think is, if you want to find out if you'll enjoy being a developer, or if you'd be good at being a developer, start developing. You don't need a job today to figure out if you like writing code, because although that's not going to be the only thing you're going to be doing as a developer, it is going to be the largest part of your job for the most part. You are going to be writing code. If you're interested in web development, start building some web applications. If you're interested in mobile development, start learning to build some mobile applications and go from there, because I think that really is the tried and true approach. A while back, when I was doing some research about should you go to a boot camp or not, I was watching some videos from some people on YouTube who posted why they dropped out of their boot camps. And one of the gentlemen that dropped out, about, very nice guy, but he made this very funny statement where when he went to the coding boot camp, he didn't realize that his job was going to be him sitting at a computer for most of the day writing code. So if that doesn't sound appealing to you, if you don't like the idea of sitting at a computer, and as a large portion of your job, the field's not for you, right? It makes sense. I don't blame the guy for dropping out. If I had that epiphany mid boot camp, I would have dropped out too. I think I would have had it a little earlier on, hopefully. But so my first piece of advice is find out. Just find out. It's not going to be identical to the workplace, but today, software and web development and all that, one of the great things about it is you can teach yourself. And if you enjoy the process, just sit down. So summer break, if you're in college and you have a semester off, or you have no summer, or you have nights and weekends, sit down for 4 hours and code 5 days a week. It's almost like a full-time job. It's a part-time job. You're a part-time developer, except for yourself, and see how it goes. The other thing is, do you like working on a team? This is something that you can't, it's harder to get this in sort of outside the workplace, but most of the time, especially as you progress in your career, maybe depending on your area and depending on every job is different, is what I'm trying to say. And so it may not be 100%. We're going to talk in generalities a little bit. But do you like working on a team? Because most of your career, you will be one of 10 developers, one of 5 developers, and you all are expected to deliver different things. Your job is to work with your team, get help from the team, help those on your team. Do you like that? Can you collaborate well? Because you can't. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard experience for you. Doesn't mean that you can't be a solo dev doing freelance stuff. Doesn't mean that you can't be. Yeah, it's just your path is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now, that should be something you probably already know already. Like, can I work with others well? Can I play nice? Basically, is the gist of it. Do you like solving strategies? Do you like logic? Do you like, when you put a when you play a game, are the games that you choose strategy based? And if they are, it might be for you. It's programming is a lot of mental, a lot of problem solving. You know, we do a lot of these algorithms as whiteboard interviews. When you look at that, and don't get me wrong, you're all going to get frustrated. I get frustrated to this day solving algorithms. But for the most part, is it enjoyable, right? It's something that you like to do. Do you like the challenge? One of the things that struck me on one of Traversing Media's videos, I forget the exact video, or maybe it was Engineer Truth's video, but it's one of their videos. I just remember Traversing Media, and I commented on it. And a guy said, it was Engineer Truth's videos where he was interviewing me, and he said, "Hey, that you have to learn all the time sounds like hell." If that's something that you're like, look, man, I just want to go into the workplace 2 months later, be complete, have my skills, not have to learn anything ever again, this is for sure not for you. It's gonna be a hard path and a hard career, and it's one of those things where in software, especially in web development, it is ever changing, right? New technologies are coming out, better technologies oftentimes, not just new, right? There's a lot of new stuff that comes out that's crap, but there's also great stuff that comes out that, you know, maybe has new programming principles and, you know, is going to replace MVC, or, you know, it's going to be a superset of JavaScript with types like TypeScript, and there's all this new stuff coming out, build tools, anything that you can imagine, and a ton of stuff coming ahead that you have to be okay learning these tools. And want to, right? Not even be okay. You have to want to be sort of eager to learn, because you're always going to be doing. Every day you go in is a day where you're probably not going to know anything. I'll give you a great example. I need to integrate a certain technology from Microsoft into a project. Never touched it. Have no idea. Documentation is pretty awful, Microsoft. I'm not going to lie. And they don't go and say, hey, have you ever worked with this technology before? You know, this API? No, they don't care. You're a developer. You're going to go and learn how to work with that, right? You're going to go and you're going to test it out. You're going to play with it. You're going to go read through the docs. You're going to watch some videos. You're going to do everything you can to get what functionality they want from this API. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay that there's going to be barriers of where you don't know. You know, you need to know that you can figure it out, but you don't know yet, right? Everything's possible, but until it works, it don't work, right? So you have to go and make that work, and to do that, you have to be okay learning on a consistent basis. And I think above everything else, do you want it? All right. So a lot of people, you know, they want this video, and they want most of these videos to tell. For me, at the end of this video, to say that you Alex, you Rebecca, you Dylan, whatever it is, whatever your name is, to say, look, I will guarantee you that you will thrive, you will be successful, and this is the career for you. You're born to do this. JavaScript is in your blood. PHP is in your decrement. Or you guys know what I'm trying to say. And it is for you. And I can't give that to you, but what I can say is that everybody is unique, every organization is unique, and even if you don't completely fit into these sort of categories, that doesn't mean that you can't be a developer. This has just been my experience. But I would encourage you to say, do you want it? Is this something, are you trying to find a job that just has those, you know, the three things that we talked about, high salaries, job growth, and a lot of jobs? Because, I mean, I didn't say it last video, but I've said it tons of times before. There are a lot of things in life that you should not do. And one of them is work a job just for money and work a job that you hate, right? So one of the things that I love about this field, other than being paid well, is I enjoy it. And so I would encourage you to find a job that you enjoy. And that's really what you have to figure out when you're trying to find out if you're right to be a developer. Do you enjoy it, right? Is this something that when I say, oh, hey, you know, you have to learn every day, it's like, all right, that sounds kind of like fun. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to learn new technology. It's going to, you know, make me more valuable to the marketplace. And maybe I can use it in my personal life on said project. Does that sound good? Or do you say, oh my God, take me behind the barn and shoot me? So that's really what you have to take away from this video is, do you enjoy it? Is this for you? And you can find out by start coding today, coding regularly today. and continuing your own personal education, doing Udemy courses, YouTube, all that, and find that out. Logic, obviously you have to be able to think logical, right? A lot of our stuff is very sort of sequence-based, formulaic-based. When you're doing this, I have to do this before I do this, before I do this. Do you enjoy thinking like that? Can you think like that? A lot of people can be developers, but not everybody, right? A lot of people struggle with it. A lot of people don't have the temperament, right? You are going to get frustrated because that's the nature of problems, right? Problems are things that you don't have answers to, and that's frustrating in life, and it is in the workplace as well. So can you handle that? Is that something you're okay with? So those are all some things for you to consider about whether or not you should be a developer. My main points are, do you enjoy learning, and do you enjoy developing? Because that's really what you need to do. The worst thing, that something like 70% of people hate their jobs, and I don't want you to be one of those 70%. We've all been one of those 70% one time in our life, and I encourage you not to do that. So if you're just thinking you're going to jump into dev because there's money or whatever, and you just want security, but you hate it, try and find something else. But if you like it and you enjoy it, just grind it out. You'll get there. And sounds like this is for you. And the good news is, for a 0-cent free text editor, you can go and get started today. So all the technology is pretty much open source in web dev, at least, and you can find out today. So that's today's video, guys. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, support me on Patreon, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, baby, what do you think makes me a good developer?
You're boring.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, if you're looking for a fun little project to do, I have my very first course out called Learn Angular by Projects Part 1, where we build a personal portfolio. It's about 3 hours of content. It's one project. It's not going to teach you everything in Angular by any means, but it's a great way to get your feet wet. You can go ahead and check the link down below, get a coupon code, Coding God, or just click the icon.